I changed my last name. Like, KP, what the hell? You're married? How the hell we didn't know, girl? First of all, how the hell we didn't know you was dating? Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I am KP. I feel like it's been so long, but if you follow me on any of my social media platforms, you know that there was a big change that occurred in my life not too long ago. I am a married woman. I know I promised you a video much sooner, but just like I underestimated jet lag, I underestimated how much time and effort and seriously private away time that it takes into merging lives, merging everything as newlyweds. So I decided to make this video, better late than never, to just clue you in, fill you in on my life. I committed to a life that you were able to view and come on this journey with me and just come along with me in my life. So, I mean, the biggest thing right now going on in my life is, what the hell, KP, you're married? So this is just a video about just telling basically what the heck happened. None of my friends knew, only the people closest to us, I mean extremely closest to us. We can count on one hand the amount of people that knew we were dating and engaged and then married. So here's all the tea. Here's all the juice, the gossip, the scoop, whatever it is you want to know. I got a couple of questions and I decided to merge them into this video, so it's not going to be long, but if you want to get your glimpse of my honey, you're going to have to watch the video all the way through. Alright, KP, who is your husband? Who is this man? Who is he? My love, my honey, I'm married to a man named Steven. Alright, so let me just run through the quick facts. I've known my husband for about a year now. We met at work. We've known each other before anything ensued for 11 months. I think that that's quite interesting and my favorite part, because he proposed on 11/11. I want to start this timeline in 2017, around this time actually, around November 2017. That's when I started to put a focus on exactly what it is that I wanted to do in my life, as far as like my purpose, what I'm going to commit my life to doing, what's going to make me money, what is the legacy I'm going to leave behind. So in 2017 was the actual year that I was introduced and started researching the law of attraction, manifestation, speaking life. So that was my big 2017 year of actually putting it all to work. In November of 2017, that's when I got focused on my future as far as my career and what I wanted my brand to be. It's so funny, the KP brand is actually my company name, but in 2017 I decided to really get serious about a focus on what my future looked like, what legacy I would leave behind, what financial setup, what would I do now to secure financially my children's future and my grandchildren's future. I'm thinking big. So 2017 November is around the time where I got focused. November 2017 is when I decided that I would start to put what I learned as a dating expert on my research, going to seminars, really just having real life coaching situations, going to people that I knew who flocked to me for information. I decided to write a book as a dating expert and on the effective ways of dating. I put work into that, and fast forward into earlier 2018, things were starting to go into motion, and I mean real life started going into motion. As far as the book, me and my team, we decided that the KP brand had to have a YouTube channel to go along with it, paid speaking engagement. There was more of a focus because now, fast forwarding to the beginning of 2018, there were more months and more planning time, and like I said, I was focused. So I have to tell you all of this because all of this led into where I am now as a wife. So 2018, March, April, I get some not so good news. My grandmother had passed away. My grandmother, who is, I call her my boo, so dear to my heart. She basically raised me. So because of that, of course, everything halted. I tried to... And let me say this, this was the first time that I'd lost somebody super close to me as far as like a family member or something. I'd been to a handful of funerals in my life, but this was the first big one. So I thought that I could give myself time and still go on with what I had planned as far as my future endeavors and my business plans. But it's so interesting, I wasn't really sad at the time, but I just couldn't go forward. So my grieving process was really just being still. At that time, I thought I had really gotten sad because I wasn't being as productive as I wanted to be, especially with all these plans that I had in the works. And you know, by this time, I'm letting people know, you know, people close to me as far as what I have to do. So I really spent about 3 months not actually doing anything in terms of YouTube and everything that I wanted to accomplish. It's everything under the KP brand. So this is now, we're looking into like the summertime, middle summer, late summer. I had a conversation with my sister who was basically like, girl, when are you gonna stop with this roster thing? You know, this dating thing is cool and I know you're living your best life, but when are you gonna actually settle down? I told her, when I meet someone that makes me feel like my roster is corny. So she's like, okay, cool, no problem, but like when? So because me and my sister, we're soul sisters, so because we have conversations based on understanding the power that our words have and putting our minds to one particular task, it can come to fruition. She asked me again, like, but seriously, when are you going to stop with the roster? You know, for everyone that's wondering what the roster is, while I was dating effectively, one thing that I encourage is dating like freely. I'm not pretending to be a girlfriend to anyone. I'm literally going out on dates. So my roster is, I try not to date more than 5 people at one time. It's hard to juggle. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. Comment below if you want to hear about the roster. I think I'll take some time out to tell you about that. All right, it was so interesting because the day before she had asked me that question, I really had sat down and said, you know what? God, I really want to settle down with the man that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with at the end part of the year. So the next day is when we were having this conversation and I was like, girl, so funny that you just asked me that because I was just talking about it yesterday and I know that at the end of the year I'm going to settle down with the man that I want to spend the rest of my life with. So the reason why I said it like that is because, you know, sometimes you understand the power that your words have. Sometimes you get nervous about speaking certain things. So I worded it that way because, you know, if you believe in the law of attraction and manifestation, you definitely understand that things don't always turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out. But that still doesn't cause some hesitation sometimes on actually being so specific in what you want. So I worded it that way in the chance that maybe I wasn't going to be like in a relationship, but I would be at least talking to someone seriously, the man that I would spend the rest of my life with. So that was middle summer, end summer that we had that conversation. That's when I began to manifest that at the end part of the year, and I say the end part of the year because I knew it would be the last season of the year. So I kept saying at the end part of the year I would settle down with the man that I would spend the rest of my life with. So I said that a few times, you know, and really in conversation is when it would come up, but I really didn't dwell on it too much. I said it, put it right there, believed it as if it were true, and put it in my back pocket. So while all of this is going on in my world, me and Steve are actually super cool. It's so funny because me and my soul sister, we work together. So me and my soul sister at work, we're super tight. And when Steve got cool with us, well, him and sister were cool first because they worked there before I did. So they were super cool, and then me and sister got super cool. So we were really like a small family. And I remember I used to call Steve cuz, like, what's up, cuz? But now we're kissing cousins. But seriously, it's just so interesting that we were so cool for a good little minute. All right, so while all of this manifestation is going on in Kalima's world and what she wants her life to look like, because if you know me, when I'm focused on my goals and my dreams, I'm focused on it. Like, I believe it as if it were, and my life is blessed. When you get in a relationship, you like to ask those questions of, how was it before I knew that you liked me? Or, you know, how was it before this was even a thing? I want to get your perspective. Or is it just me? Do y'all do that? Is it just me? Okay. So I asked him a million questions. I still ask him now. Tell me about the time before I knew there was a time. And he'll tell me, like, he was in a situation, but when he saw me, he was like, I gotta have her. Either I'm gonna get her or I'm gonna take her from somebody else, but I gotta have her. So for some time. He had those thoughts. I had no idea, because remember, I'm calling him cuz. What's up, cuz? But he had a whole nother idea. But one thing I respected about Steve, I still respect about him, that he understands that you can't force life. So he didn't act on it. He just told himself and just went on with his day-to-day. All right, so of course, I don't know what's going on in this man's head. All I know, what's up, cuz? I mean, we're not flirting. We're not doing anything. We're like super just cool, chill, like family. So, all right. So I remember this one day. Okay, so this day was the absolute buildup. Like, I knew for a fact I was going to get his number. Like, this was the day, Kalima, I'm talking to myself. Like, Kalima, KP, girl, stop playing. The advice that you would give somebody else, this is it. Game time. Get this man's number. Okay. So all day I geared up, and I mean, like, I'm sweating bullets, I'm nervous, I'm like, which is absolutely not me at all, because I'm super confident. And I mean, guys come a dime a dozen, you know, not everybody's for everybody. Shoot your shot, whatever you want to call it. I'm not scared to talk to people. So it was just so strange that all day I was super nervous, like I had butterflies and everything. So we had a few conversations that day. So I remember one of the last conversations, I told him, before you leave, let me know so I can walk you to the car. So he's like, okay, cool. So day goes on, he comes, he's like, yo, I'm leaving. So I'm like, all right, sweating. So I walk him out to the car. I don't even know what the heck he was talking about. He's telling me something about the day, but I'm so nervous, like trying to rehearse the conversation about getting his number, that I can't even hear what he's saying. So we get outside and I'm like, yeah, I have nothing to say. It's just, I just keep saying the same thing. Like, I have nothing to say. I just wanted to walk you out here. I have nothing to say. I just wanted to walk you out here. So I guess he was just like, okay. So he walks to the car, and I can't really remember the conversation he told me, but he talks to his friend and he's like, yo, that was weird or whatever. Anyway, I'm like, okay, that was a complete bust. Just crazy. So I go inside to one of my friends and I'm like, girl, I just made a fool of myself. Fast forward to the next day. Of course, that was, I mean, that situation was a bust. Just a disaster. Just a fail. Just not a disaster, but it was a fail. So I'm like, all right, gear up. KP loves a challenge. So next day, I'm like, okay, definitely I gotta get his number. Turns out, since he understood what I was doing, he asked me for my number the next day. So I was like, whew. So since that day, we spoke, we hung out. I think we hung out that night, the next night, the night after that, the night after that. And you know, we just kept speaking all the time. And then from there, we just decided, like, look, this is something, you know what I mean? I really, really liked him because he made me laugh all the time. He was so funny. He was so bossed up at work. So I just be like, yo. And, you know, you gotta ask him, but he said that he just knew he had to have me. He even told himself that I would be his wife. So manifestation on both ends birthed this beautifulness. So we dated for a short time. He proposed on the 11th of November. We tried to keep everything hush-hush, but like we were just beaming, glowing. So at that point, a couple of people knew. We officially tied the knot on December 1st. We did a courthouse wedding, none of the extra stuff. We're going to, for our honeymoon, we're going to travel the world to 10 different Love Lock Bridge locations. I think there's one that's like a dangerous zone, but we're going to attempt to go to all 10 Love Lock locations. And because we're doing everything in 11s, because he proposed on 11/11 and we got married on the 1st, we want to do everything in 11s. So because there are only 10 Love Lock Bridge locations in the world, we want to start one in Atlanta. When we pick the location, of course, I'll do a vlog so you guys can see it and hopefully add your love locks to the bridge that we start in Atlanta. So that'll be the 11th Love Lock Bridge for our honeymoon tour. So I'm so grateful for my husband. I'm thankful for everyone that has been on this journey and who's blessed us with kind words, encouraging words, with gifts, with future appointments and commitments to really be there for us. We're so grateful. Man, you're gonna see us. You're gonna see a lot of us, but I definitely want to fill you in on what the hell, KP, you're married. The dating expert is married. This girl who swore up and down, left and right that her business would come first. She ain't got no time for no sideways stuff. She's married. It was manifested. God saw fit to bless me with this amazing man. God saw fit to bless him with an amazing woman. Come on, can I get an amen? But life is lit. There's a blessing in everything. There's a lesson in everything. Be intentional, stay focused, spread love, express love, communicate, love on each other. Life is too short. Life is lit. I am so glad y'all spent this time with me. I promised you if you watch to the end of this video, you'll get a little sneak peek of my honey. I am so blessed and I am so in love. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are not subscribed, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Thank you so much. Lovers of life, I love you all. Stay tuned for a clip of me and my honey. Hi, baby. You had fun?
Yes.
New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's.
My wife.
I am KP. Love you guys. Lovers of life.